Hello, friends. Welcome to another Wednesday Pick a Pile. We're outside today. We're vibing in that earth energy for this Taurus moon. Getting some love from the nature. Today, in theme with, that new moon, we're going to talk about how you can best show up for yourself. This new moon is all about prioritizing yourself and your needs. You got to look out for number one. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. All right. As always, when everything's out, pick the pile that calls to you. If they all call to you, that's beautiful. Just watch for the whole thing. If they don't all call to you, there are timestamps in the description for each pile. And you can click on that to go to that one. Also, shameless plug. Don't ever feel bad to be your own hype man. Check the description as well for a link to all of my shenanigans. Find art. If you want a tarot read, there's a place there. You can get some. They're actually through Etsy. It's weird, but it works. Yeah. Find my Instagram. You can find a booking sessions place. It's all there. It's all there. You got it. So that's there too. And without further ado, here's the tarot. All right, so today we've got a few crystals that we can look at. We've got first pile, second pile, third pile. So the first pile is Carnelian. It has to do with the root and sacral chakra. And that one is emotional warmth, sociability, creativity. It's your individuality. Excuse me. Health and memory. Appreciation of nature. How fitting, huh? Here's that right there. Harmony, courage, happiness, self-esteem, rebirth, past life recall. It's a stabilizing stone, and it promotes and stimulates you. So if you got you're working on something, give you some stimulation to keep going, progress. It helps to sharpen your concentration and dispel lethargy, especially mental lethargy. So there's that for you. And let's see what that pile is. All right. So let's start with dream. It's a pretty nice spread. This is a good one. Pay attention to your dreams, and that's not just like dreaming when you sleep, but pay attention to what drives you. Pay attention to what makes you tick. There's messages in your dreams. There's messages questions, answers to your questions, right? So if you're looking for answers, take some time to meditate quietly, but you don't have to be sleeping to do it, but pay attention to your dreams too, because sometimes you get your answers while you're asleep as well. Are you feeling unaccomplished? Nine of Cups reversed, it could be the inability to see everything you've got. This card is about coming to completion. It's fulfillment. Progress has been made. This guy on this particular card is pretty stoked. He's making all these vases and cups, and he looks pretty happy. He's content, right? So this is a card of contentment, being at peace, emotional stability and happiness. It's not quite the 10, which I look at these cards. The 9 is kind of like personal, like fulfillment and contentment, and then the 10 of Cups is like family and like social circle, contentment and like fulfillment. So reverse, it could be you're failing to see how far you've come. You're failing to see everything now that you have that maybe you wanted in the past. Maybe, look how far you've come. Look at everything you've got. There's always something to be content about. Broken record about it, but there's always something to be grateful for. Even if everything feels like it's going wrong, there's always something going right. So where can you shift your perspective and see the things that you are completing, that you have done, that you have accomplished, see what you have to offer. It doesn't have to be tangible. Maybe you've been working on yourself. Find fulfillment within the progress you've made, because you're creative. The Queen of Wands, the Queen of Staves, is about creativity. It's that fire burning inside, right? So we can look at queens as your internal world, and kings as like your external. So comparatively to the suit, like this is the passions burning within. This is the ideas you have. This is the dreams you have, right? This is all the creativity within that's waiting to burst forth. And maybe that's what this reverse 9 of Cups is. You've got something you need to share with the world. You've got something you need to create, and you haven't, or you're not. Like you're working on something else, or your focus is where it shouldn't be. Not necessarily shouldn't be, but it's not serving you the best. Maybe you're doing something and you want to do something else. You have this idea inside, this passion, this fire, and you're not taking heed. So again, like listen to the answers that you get, whether in the sleep dream state, the daydream state. You could call daydreaming a type of meditation, because you're not really here, you're somewhere else. But look at those answers. If you're trying to figure out what direction to go in, you have the wisdom. The moose. The moose came up last week too. If you got this pile this week and that pile last week, maybe there's a message in there for you, huh? Call that a synchronicity if you want. Yeah, I'll just hold it up here so you can see it. But let your head and mind reach to the stars. Keep your feet grounded on earth. Earth, Taurus moon, pretty fitting. Listen to the ancient wisdom of your soul. Listen, the ancestors speak through you. You know much. These all tie in so strong. And with the Carnelian, that's talking about that creativity and that individuality, it has to do with past life recall. There's your dreams, that rebirth. So that, oh yeah, this is so beautiful, because like the promotion of concentration, and it gets rid of that mental lethargy. And maybe that's what you're dealing with here. Like this could be some mental lethargy, or not feeling driven in a certain direction, or you have all these ideas and goals and dreams, and you just don't know where to start. Don't forget about your moose wisdom. Dive into that. This moon is a very good time to look at yourself. You've been giving to others for so long. What can you do for yourself? So take some time for that. If you ask questions, stop long enough to listen to the answer, in your dreams, in your thoughts, in your meditations, in your prayers, whatever way that you commune with source, through the birds that are chirping. There's synchronicities and everything, really. So there you are. There's your message, my Carnelian pile. Next up, we got the Amethyst cluster. It's amethyst, but I just love this one because it's so sparkly, shiny. So this one has to do with the third eye and the crown. It's your spiritual awareness, psychic abilities. It helps with inner peace and healing. It heals the mind, body, and soul, and it's that transformation. Helps with meditation, finding balance, communication. Helps relieve stress. It's a protective stone, and it's a natural tranquilizer. It relieves like stress and strain, anxiety, worry, and it can help encourage sobriety. So if there's something you're working on, get yourself some amethyst. You know, a cluster, a piece. You know, one doesn't necessarily work better than the other. It's just, I just really like the different rocks. So I have a lot of different variations, but it's not like this cluster is more powerful, you know, like it's crystalline, you're crystalline, you have the power in you. If you have a piece this big and you're like, well, is that enough, you know, this little guy right here, and you're like, is that enough amethyst? Yeah, because you got the power in you, you know. The rocks amplify your crystalline healing properties, but don't fret, you have it. All right, let's see what the message is. Oh yeah. All right. I am not surprised to see the internal work I'm seeing. You know, new moon. Excuse me, get some tea. New moon's coming through strong, making us take a second and like look inside. New moons are about shadows, and it's not a negative thing, right? You hear it a lot, and it feels like it's all the time because there's new moons every month. There's full moons every month, so it's this back and forth, and you're like, I'm doing all the shadow work. Don't forget to live too. Excuse me. Don't forget to live, right? You're healing through everything. You grow through what you go through. Say that till, you know, probably till I pass from this earth, because it's true. Because you're always going through something, essentially. So it's understanding that no matter what comes to you, it's just an experience, right? You got to stop thinking as if you have to heal, I have to heal, and understand that life is a healing journey, and so you heal as you live. So I don't know, I hope that was a message for you, because it came through. It's part of the cosmic blueprint. Yeah, we're talking about shadows. Everybody's got a shadow. It's not a bad thing. It's just the side of you that's kind of, you know, the deepest parts of you. You don't always show them to everybody. But, ooh, it's raining a little bit. That's okay. All right. Cosmic blueprint. This is the Fibonacci sequence, Fibonacci spiral. It's the golden ratio. It's everything, the cosmic blueprint, right? This makes up everything. So this is a reminder that there's a blueprint to existence. Like, you're supposed to be here, and you fit into this blueprint. You fit into this. You fit in. You're supposed, you know. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, because it's just like, you're supposed to be here. You're a piece of everything, and everything's a piece of you, right? But there's also this beautiful life that we get to make up and create for ourselves, and everything that happens fits within this blueprint, right? If it wasn't supposed to happen, it wouldn't be happening. And I know that's such a cliche, and it can feel so wild, because you're like, okay, but bad things keep happening to me. Just take a breath, right? It fits into the cosmic blueprint. I've been there. Just take a breath and see, you know, instead of asking why, ask what. What's this situation teaching me? How does this fit into the blueprint of my life? You know, where am I headed? What's my way? What's my direction? So, Page of Pentacles. This is an adventure. We're on an adventure. Pages are like the curious, young version of the deck, you could say, where like you look at knights and pages, and kings and queens. And it's like, I guess you could say like the prince and the princess, whatever. It's page is like that young, youthful, go get 'em. The knight is that more mature, if you will, go get 'em. So it's the start of something. It's not the ace, it's more profound, essentially. Maybe you're looking for ideas of how to provide for yourself financially that are different from what you've been doing, but you're not sure where to start. You're not sure how to do that. You want to take a leap, but you're not sure what direction to go. You know, you're really interested in starting an adventure that makes you your own boss, essentially, that, you know, you get to create, and your life is just you existing, enjoying life, and then that brings abundance. But you're like, well, where do I go? How do I do that? Or you don't, maybe you can't find within yourself how you're worthy of passively making an income or passively having everything you need. And I don't mean like not doing anything to get there, but to make it easy. Like maybe you think it's too good to be true and that's why it's reversed, but there's always, there's that give and take in life, and it's supposed to work as a give and take. So maybe you're working towards something, working towards your own business, working towards your own venture. Maybe it's a side hustle or a hobby that you want to start because you're like, hey, I'm interested in this and maybe I can get myself a little extra on the side. But maybe you don't, I don't know, maybe you don't see yourself worthy. There's so much that could come from this. And I just like, I keep getting these downloads of like, this could be this could be this. So if any of this is, fits in, I mean, it's a collective message, and there's so much going on right now, especially in terms of finances and people trying to do something different. So if if you're in a place where you feel like you're struggling financially or you're not sure the next step, I know I skipped one, but patience, right? Just be present, because the Six of Pentacles is about that give and take. The Six of Pentacles is, in my mind, how existence as these beings on earth should exist, right? Existence should exist, how things should go. If you have, you give to those that don't have. And if you don't have, there's always something to be given, right? Don't be so in your ego that you can't accept from someone. If you're in a place where you feel like you don't have what you need, accept from people that are willing to offer it to you, accept from people that are willing to give you abundance, and vice versa. If you have a lot of abundance and you see people that need something or that are genuinely struggling, or they're on a venture to start their own business, their own I guess business is the only word that comes up. It's so 3D to me, but like they want to do something different to make to manifest abundance, and they just need a little boost or whatever it may be. Don't be afraid to give if you have. It doesn't have to be money. Pentacles are about tangible things as well. It's not just monetary things. It's like things you can have, tangible items, household items, what I don't know. A house, a car, clothes, whatever. If you need something, don't be afraid to ask. And if you have something, don't be afraid to give. And definitely don't be afraid to accept. So it's that flow, that ebb and flow of things. All right. And with that comes patience, right? So this came up last week as well. I've gotten very similar spirit animals past two. The first pile and this pile is the same as last week. It's not the same order necessarily, but hey, if it's coming up again for you, here's your sign. Nature, we're outside today, right? We're in nature because nature is where you're renewed. This is a Taurus New Moon and I'm a Taurus, so I'm feeling it, and you're probably feeling it too. We're all feeling it. It's grounding, but it's also transformative, because what is grounding, the paradox of that is a lot of what can feel like chaos. So just find that balance, and step confidently towards your purpose. So if that's, if you're trying to find your purpose, you fit into the cosmic blueprint, right? If you're trying to find your purpose and you're afraid that you won't have, or you're afraid to have too much, maybe that's what this stands for too. Like, just keep going towards what is your purpose. Ask those questions, wait for the answers, like be patient. It will bring you rewards. If you're unsure, ask source, like, what do I need to know? What am I doing? Like, what direction should I head? What should my next steps be? And then wait long enough to hear an answer, right? Answers come in so many different forms, so don't think it's only coming from one place. But dive in. If you're creating something, dive in. Don't be afraid to have a little, and don't be afraid to have a lot. And in that, there'll be that balance, right? Balance. So yes, you're on a journey. Ride with it. So, meditation. Meditation, you know, and it looks different to everybody. It's not just sitting crisscross applesauce humming chakra tones. Like, it can, you know, going for a walk and being more observant than you have been is a form of meditation. Laying on your lawn, stretching, you know, I bring my yoga mat outside and I stretch a little bit. You don't have to do like traditional yoga moves or whatever, you know, just move your body how it feels good, and like stretch it and use it or lose it. Move your body, move your mind. That's like the theme of, you know, show up for yourself. Like, just pour into yourself the ways that you've been pouring into others. You know, pour in. That's what, you know, how can you show up for yourself? Pour into yourself. But also don't be afraid to ask for what you need from others and from yourself. So there's the second pile. Thanks for being here, guys. If you chose all 3 piles, feel free to stick around because we're headed to number 3. All right. So this is quartz. The cool thing is that all the crystals that we have today are forms of quartz. Something that I wasn't completely aware of until I was doing a little research, and I was like, wow, so many of the crystals that we utilize are quartz, which makes sense because quartz is about harmony and it's just pure energy. This quartz it's not a clear quartz, it's not smoky quartz, it's not really green quartz, it's not really gray quartz. At the end of the day, like, it doesn't really matter. They're all essentially the same kind of healing crystal energy. So it's, you know, it ain't no thing. But quartz is associated with the crown chakra. And it's harmony, energy, it's healing. It brings healing. It helps you unlock your psychic abilities. It brings clarity. It can calm you. It's known as the master healer because it amplifies the energy and thought around you and within you, but it also will it amplifies the effects of other crystals. And it can absorb, store, release, and regulate energy depending. It's a good transmuter, and it helps you bring the body into balance, right? It stimulates your immune system. The crystalline energy from this is so strong. It helps you harmonize all your chakras, and it helps align your subtle bodies along your body. So it's really a stone of alignment. So if you're feeling like you need an alignment check right now and you're here, I'm not surprised. All right, let's see what's up. This came up last week too. You know, my friends, there's a theme. And this was in the last spread as well. Like, pile 2. That's wild. So the theme really this month, I mean, if you've been following me for a while, you'll see that like there is a pretty consistent theme throughout all of these weekly readings because the time we're in is very transformative. And so there's a lot about being present, making choices, and like finding contentment and with what is, like, and that doesn't mean you have to sit there, but acceptance, I guess, not necessarily contentment, but like finding acceptance with what is and allowing from that moment transformation to happen, because until you accept where you are now, you can never move through to where you want to be, right? So bliss is just being present, right? This is having not worrying. Flowers don't worry, animals don't worry, right? Bugs don't worry. They find bliss, they find contentment, they find peace anywhere they are. They really don't care. The 7 of Cups is about making choices. So you can see here, she's got all these plant pots hanging above her, and she's got different things in them, you know, and it could be different things in the pots for you, depending on what you're dealing with, you know, family, home, pets, I don't know, pets. Maybe he's making a decision to eat that bird. Graduation, travel the world. This looks like a lotus to me. So to me, that's like the choice to choose awakening. I don't know what you see, but the Seven of Cups is about making a decision. If you're juggling a lot right now and you're trying to decide what way to go, or you're like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do a little of this, I want to try a little bit of this, I want to dabble in this. Just, yes, do it all, but make sure that you don't jump into things, burn yourself out, and then like spiral out. Like, take a second to choose something, roll with it, and then you can move from there through, you know what I mean? You can move through like your other decisions or the other things you want to do, you know. And there are things sometimes you'll have to let go. Like, you can't do everything right now. So if you're struggling with what to do right now, like, stop and see what needs to be prioritized, right? You know, you have your whole life to try all these different things. So don't feel like you have to do everything you want to do, or feel like you need to do whatever it may be right now, right? 7, enlightenment. So like, choose enlightenment. Choose you right now. Like, as you prioritize all these things in your life and the direction you want to go, choose you as you decide your way. Because if you don't choose you, you won't actually know the way you're supposed to go, right? Because you won't actually know you. If you don't choose you, you can't get to know you. And the Princess of Cups, so I was wrong. It's actually the Princess of Pentacles in the last spread, so forget I said that. But this, it's interesting to see Princess Page. If you know the page, this is the same card. But it's that there's a lot of internal seeking, internal epiphanies happening. And that's a theme throughout. You know, this reversal is not necessarily a blockage or a negative thing, but it could be. Are you starting a new journey? Are you, you know, are you working to find contentment and making the decision to dive within, to meet with your emotions and to see them differently, to gain a new perspective? You know, this could be like a new adventure type card, and the new adventure could be seeing your emotions differently and allowing them to be signposts and allowing them to teach you things and allowing them to show you what you really need to know about yourself, instead of shutting them off, or, you know, drinking them away, or smoking them away, or sexing them away, or working them away, or, you know, and when you are alone, things start to come up, so you spend a lot of time with people instead of spending that time alone. It's time to spend some time alone. Dive into your emotions, make that decision to show up for you, to be present and to not worry, because you're protected. I'll bring it up so you can see it. You're the master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. So again, like, if you're trying to make a decision, persevere and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. Don't forget, you're taken care of, you're loved, you have everything you need. The decisions can be hard, you know, it can be hard to decide a direction or in the moment what to do, but show up for yourself. It's time. It's time to tap into your psychic abilities. It's time to open your crown chakra. It's time to amplify that energy. Do be aware that whatever state you're in, if you're meditating with quartz, it will amplify that. So if you're struggling right now and you want to meditate with quartz, do it, please. But understand, you will feel the energy within you get amplified, but that's only to show you where to make changes. Happy neighbors, I love it. Happy kids. It'll show you where you need to make the changes and what needs to be released, right? This moon is really big. It's, again, still continuing to integrate what serves you and release what doesn't. And so if you meditate with an amplification stone and then you're like, I'm not meditating with that stone again, all this shit came up. That shit's supposed to come up. You can't move through it if it's not there, right? And I'm only laughing because same. You know what I mean? I've been working on really diving deep. Like, when you go deep and you heal and you transmute and you just jump back into life, you can always go deeper. So don't be afraid to take time and just go a little deeper and go a little deeper. And, you know, I got frustrated with myself this morning because I was getting cranky about stuff. And then I had to sit for a second and be like, is a powerful energy around? Breathe, take a second. Like, it's all right. It's okay. Just sit with it, you know? What is it trying to show me? What's it trying to tell me about myself and everything around me? So just sit with your emotions. I'm not going to say don't get triggered by them, because triggering is good. Triggering is how you grow and transform, but don't allow that trigger to turn you off from diving deep again and continuing to dive within, because you will constantly trigger yourself as you start this journey, as you pick up this journey where you're at, as you move through this journey. You just continually do that. So just laugh it off and just be like, all right, I see you. You're trying to be wily. Here we are. But yes, go on a journey to your emotions. Make that choice while you figure out everything else you need to make choices about. And don't let it overwhelm you. I mean, it could, but just know that you're fine. You're in life's flow. You got harmony and rhythm, and you got what you need. Thanks for being here today. Hold on through this moon. Hold on through all the moons. Just ride the wave, really. It doesn't necessarily get easier, but it does get a little bit easier to navigate, because you start to understand what works for you, and you start to understand what you really want. So keep on keeping on. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you want any further information about me, there's a link in the description. And as always, share it with your friends, whoever you think might want to hear this message. It's pretty powerful. I like to take all the piles for myself. I'm doing them all for the collective, right? And I'm part of the collective, and I'm just like, all right, if you need the message, I need the message. So let's sit with our emotions and take some time today and every day, to meditate the blues away. Woo! All right. I love you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next now moment.